In Balatro, Jimbo and other jokers upgrade your poker hands, allowing Do you like shiny cards? Balatro has multiplier cards, lucky cards, glass cards.
I've got an idea!
Ever since Jeff Keighley announced the 2024 Game Award nominees, gaming Twitter and gaming internet has been ablaze with fighting back and forth between Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree being a DLC, should be allowed, should the expansions have their own category, why is Black Myth Wukong this, just been an absolute mess. But one of the main arguments that a lot of people may seem to be missing that popped up all across my timelines, in my comment sections, and even myself has kind of pondered was, how did a game like Balatro, a card game, get nominated for Game of the Year over Stellar Blade, which is a damn near AAA PlayStation exclusive third-person action RPG that looks phenomenal, plays phenomenal. Like, how's this possible? So at the same time I was having these thoughts, a YouTuber by the name of Nick Tech over here had made this post. I'm sorry, how did Balatro game get nominated over Stellar Blade? Right now this has over 4 million impressions. And as you can imagine, over 1,000 comments. And people are going all back and forth talking about it's a game, it's a this, it's better, Stellar Blade's better. I mean, it goes on non-stop. And I've even said it a few times myself. I was like, listen, if a card game wins Game of the Year, then what are we doing? Like, I couldn't grasp the concept. And mind you, if you check these comments, you see a lot of the holier than thou, you know, tastemakers, the wine swirling. It's above your intellectual IQ. You know, this is a true game. This is a true video game. This is not just a game about titties and ass and boss battles. You see those guys in the comments. Listen, I play more game variations than most in 3 months than most people play in 2 years. I play them all. Top down, upside down RPGs, 2D side scrollers, indie games, AAA games, Souls-like, racing games, fighting games, college football, you name a genre, I played it in the last 3 months. And if you don't believe me, just look at my channel and look at some of the views as well. The algorithm don't like that shit. But I play all type of games. I'm far beyond the casual myself. And even me, I'm sitting back looking like, what the f? And here's the truth, at the core, there's no gotcha. You know, I'll start watching gameplay and I was like, well, what's the moment I'm gonna go like, oh, like in Alleyway 2 when they start doing the dance, I'm like, oh, I got you. Or Jedi Survivor, when you jumping through portals, you go like, oh, that's a moment. Or Elden Ring, when the fire giant fucking shoots up. Like moments like that in gaming, I go, I get it. So I was watching Balatro gameplay and I was like, Balatro gameplay, and I was like, well, where's the moment that's gonna be like, and guess what? There's no moment. It is a simple, a very fun, very well made card game. It's nothing more, nothing less. So initially this video was going to be a lot more toxic towards Balatro because I couldn't understand how would someone look at this game and look at Stellar Blade and go, oh no, that's the better one. Then I saw this comment here from Mad Curious Gamer. She's also a YouTuber, by the way. I'll leave a channel link down in the description below, along with NeckTech. And she said, it does something new and it does it well. That is exactly what Game of the Year should mean. And for whatever reason, out of all the comments that I read, this one resonated with me the most. This one took me back to last year, where everyone was playing a game called Vampire Survivors. Like Skill Up and Jake Baldino and all these other people that I follow that's talking up this game, Vampire Survivors. Like, this game is fucking awesome. This is the game. And I thought it was a meme. And I was just like, I don't get it. How is this game the game? Like, this don't make any sense to me. So then I said, fuck it. I bought it and I started playing it. And about 6 hours later, I go, I get it. It's addictive. It's satisfying. So that resonated with me because you look at Vampire Survivors, you're like, oh, this don't look like nothing. But what it does very fucking well. And so many other games have tried to duplicate that after Vampire Survivors' success. Now, even though I don't believe it got any nominations or won any awards, at least at the Game Awards last year, as it should have, but you know the Game Awards always going to have that indie darling game. Last year they had Stray, and another year it's always like that one indie game that's in there, which is great. Because as I dug deeper, I realized that Balatro was actually made by one fucking guy. One dev made this game. That is phenomenal. I have a couple friends that's dev, but I have one dev in particular that I'm cool with named Gavin. He made Choo Choo Charles. One guy, one dev. He's working on a new game, Cuff Bust, now, and it's just him. And he works on these games open to close every day for a year or two, solo by himself. So I could understand level of commitment that he had to make this one game, let alone it being nominated for Game of the Year. So for that in itself, as a gamers who love indies games, I'm rooting for you. I'm truly rooting for you. But still, I had to ask myself, is this a better game than Stellar Blade? And now initially I was going to do a video talking about the Stellar Blade Near Automata 2B DLC or update, and that was just going to be some brain rot, me talking about the ass and the titties and making a couple of memes. But we got more to offer here on this channel than just that. Trust me, I'm not above that. Today in particular, we have a lot more to offer than just showing off Eve's ass. After playing through Stellar Blade for a few more hours, because of course earlier I beat it. Earlier I completed the game in the year on the channel, as some of you see. And if you remember, I wasn't crazy about it. I felt the combat got repetitive. I got burnt out really quick, and I felt like the acting and all this, you know, it didn't really hit for me. The first few hours was really cool, and after that I got burnt out. But that's just me. But overall, most people really enjoyed this game. The soundtrack, the visuals, the boss battles. I mean, this is a game that's perfect. It's the perfect game for Game of the Year. So of course, then I start searching for questions like, well, maybe it's because the corrupt Western media. Then I also have to realize, like I mentioned in my Black Myth Wukong video yesterday, it's more than just the Western media in the UK voting on this. This is over 100 from studios and outlets and media and journalists around the world, everywhere. So if Balatro got in there, then it got in there. I wouldn't purchase the game myself. I played it for like an hour. The game is satisfying. The game is cool, but I personally hate card games. I hate card games. I don't understand them. When I go to the casino, I don't go to the tables. When I played, I hated playing Queen's Blood. The only card game that I actually enjoyed was freaking Sabak from Star Wars Outlaws. Other than that, I just don't enjoy card games. And even me, I was trying to play it. I was trying to understand it. It's satisfying. The sound effects, you feel like you're in the casino. It's fun and glitzy. It wasn't for me. Just like Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't for me. Just like Elden Ring wasn't for me in 2022. And I thought Horizon Forbidden West was a better game. Up until I played Elden Ring and I really got immersed and I understand it. Balatro, I understand it. This is much more than just about the game. The game is great, obviously, but also just it being made by indie dev with so much love and passion, it being $15, it now being on mobile. All of these media outlets know this when they're going into it. So that's just them championing this smaller game that's fucking awesome, obviously, but also giving it a leg up, saying like, hey, you know what, let's put some spotlight on it. And hey, I can't be mad at that. I really can't. But now we can get into the conversation about Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree being nominated, because if Shadow of the Erdtree wasn't there, then quite possibly Stellar Blade could have been in that spot. And like I said, I wasn't up in arms because I'm a big Elden Ring fan. I'm a big Shadow of the Erdtree fan, and Black Myth Wukong got in there. I was happy. But as I mentioned before, if Black Myth Wukong wasn't in there and Shadow of the Erdtree was, I'll be fucking crashing out. So I get it, but that's not to take away from the Shift Up studio as well, because that was their first major game. Korean studio, a very small team as well too. So what they did is equally as impressive to me as a Balatro. So I don't have a resolution to this video. I'm so sorry. All I can say is both of the games are fucking great, and what you think is fucking amazing, the other person may think is shit. You know what I'm saying? I think Skull and Bones and Concord, Gollum, I think all these games should have been Cap. Bye.